Let's get back to our DIY accounting system. So in this video, I'm going to create the settlement bank account selection Dropbox for this one. Before that, let's move on to the chart of account. Select the chart of account. Okay. Before this video, I just created these two columns. This one is the general ledger account of the bank when it is in foreign currency. And this column is the one in local currency. I'm just using the old technique that I adopted in the previous video when I pulled out bank-related general ledger accounts from the chart of account. Okay, so you will see the aggregate formula. But instead, in these two columns, I was just changing the criteria, which is these two. I multiply these two because I have to extract those process type as B, which is interbank transfer, and the general ledger account code is 6-digit. Just like this one, 1000.1. I've already created a system that is based on the length of the general account code. It may be different in your case, but in my case, those general ledger accounts with a dot are in foreign currency. Okay, so now I'm just changing these two. I just call it foreign bank, and this one the local bank. Okay, this is the formula of the general ledger accounts in foreign currency, so you can copy that. And this one is the formula for the general ledger accounts in local currency. Okay, so I'll let you copy that. I'm going to select the whole column, Control Shift F3, create the name based on the top row, which is foreign bank, because I'm going to use it as a Dropbox index. Okay, so just press OK. So now when I select the whole thing, I will have a name, foreign bank, right? And I'll do that for the local bank also. Select all, and then I press Control Shift F3. Oops, no, just select all, Control Shift F3, and then top row. So make sure I've created a local bank. Save it. Once we get these two columns done, move on to my bookkeeping interface. Like that. Go all the way to the rightmost column. Create two extra columns here. Call this Settle Item First Cell, because I'm going to match that with the Settle Trans Item column. Actually, I will match the name, change it to Settle Trans Item First Cell, and I call this Settle Trans Item Range, because we are going to use the first cell and the range to look up from the foreign bank or local bank based on different settlement transaction currency, like this one. In case the settlement bank currency is the same as the reporting currency, then we will look up for the GL account from the local bank, and if it is not, we're going to look up from the general ledger accounts in foreign currency. Okay, so let me just go all the way back. So this one is if actually we have three conditions. We have to fulfill three conditions. If they are met, I'll enter. Then I'm going to return. Let me put a quote, chart of account. We're going to look up from the chart of account. Pay attention to the single quote and exclamation mark. And I'm going to look up for the first cell in local bank. So this one is going to be the address, and then row wrap around with the local bank range that we created before, and the column of the local bank that is being wrapped around in the address. And this one is going to call for the first cell of the local bank range. Okay, comma. Otherwise, we are going to create a set of conditions for the foreign bank, and this time is a little bit easier because I already named the range as foreign bank. That's what we did early on. So this one is foreign bank. If none of them holds, then we'll return 0. Close this. We need to fill in conditions now. Actually, we need the settled bank currency to be filled in. So the settled bank currency cannot be blank, because we have to rely on the currency to match with the reporting currency rate. So it cannot be blank. And the second condition is wrapped around in an or because we have two more conditions. The first condition is the withdrawal bank code is not nothing, or let me just move to the right hand side of the comma, or the settle bank code is not a dash, is nothing. What this or part means is when the bank account appears for the first time, then I force the user to select the general ledger account for the bank account. The third condition is the reporting currency. So when you select this one, or you just type the reporting currency, has to be equal to the leftmost 3 digits of the settled bank currency. So it's not simply the settled bank currency, we have to extract the leftmost 3 digits of the settlement currency, this one. I simply copy all these, just replace this one by changing this one because I'm going to look up from the foreign bank, right? So the reporting currency cannot be the same as the reporting currency. Oops, too many arguments. How come? Oh, I see, because I have 2 comma. Rub this, and this one should be the formula. Okay, so let me just enter. For the first transaction, you will see a chart of account, cell W8, right? So where is this? It is this one. This one is a local bank, so we have W8, right? For the first cell, we need to return the range as well. So let's move back. So you can select the table. You just select my bookkeep to go back to the bookkeeping interface. And then let me just go all the way back. Fill in settlement transaction item range. I'm going to copy this one to the settlement transaction range. Let me just go upward. I just need to change this part. If the conditions for the local bank hold, then I'm going to let the user select from a range of local bank. So you have to select the local bank, and this one, simply copy this and then replace this one with a foreign bank. That's why you better name the range before you write the formula. It's way easier. Okay? Because the first transaction is Canadian dollar, which is the same as the reporting currency. So we are looking up from the first cell of the local bank in the range of local bank. And the second one, the settlement currency is in euro and the reporting currency is in Canadian dollar. So we are going to look up from the first cell of foreign bank. Okay, we can move on to the drop-down formula. So actually equal to this cell. And then if I wrap this around with an indirect formula, you will see the bank account. Then I can do Control F3 to bring up the formula. Actually, I created before and it's called the name return settle trends item first cell. So when I press enter, you see the formula. Indirect, and then from the raw data add settle trends item first cell, and so it's going to select from the local bank first cell from the chart of account. Okay, so actually I create that. Then for the settle trends item range, so let me just do indirect, and then I select this one. You see indirect raw data, which is this table, and it's add, which is individual settle trends item range. So again, this one will return a formula, and I'm going to copy this formula, Control F3 to bring up the formula, create a name, add new name because I just created that, and then you will see the formula here. Indirect, the table, which is this one, raw data, individual settle trends item range, which is this one. Okay, basically I created. Let me just rub this. So we are now ready to create a drop-down list. Basically, it's in the format of whatever first cell of a range, colon, and then the range, right? So our formula is simply return settle trends. Oh, sorry, not this one. settle trans item first cell, which is this one. That's why I name it first cell because it's easier to remember. Colon, and then we have the lookup, so we use index return settle transaction item range, comma, and then we use the count if from the return settle trans item range, comma, the criteria is going to be a double quote and then asterisk, question mark, and then close double quote. This one means if the range in the settle trans item range is more than one character, then I'm going to grab it. Otherwise, just leave it. Close account if, close index. So we have this one. Copy the whole formula. Control C, press Control F3 to bring up a formula. Create a new Dropbox. Go to New, name it Settle Trans Item Dropbox. Then paste formula. Just make sure your formula is correct. And then OK. Close it. Let me add the validation to the settle trans item. Alt-DL to bring up the data validation. And then we allow list. Left click the source and press F3 and select the Dropbox here. The settle trans item Dropbox. Hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why, but hopefully it works. Yep. So this time I can select those without a dot, right? Copy that, Control C, Shift N, down arrow, and then right click, paste special validation. Okay, so this time, since our reporting currency is Canadian dollar, so I expect to select from these three accounts because the cash, bank overdraft, and the due to shareholder has no dot, right? And this one, settle bank currency is not the same as the reporting currency. So I expect to select from the account with dot. Okay, that's it for this settle transaction. I'll add the conditional formatting later because the backend is very messy. So let me just get all the logic done first. So stay tuned. Thank you. Bye bye.